Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing? I hope that you are doing good at home. I want you to know that I miss you in the classroom. I really do. I've been going often, and I think of each of you guys. So thank you for staying safe and staying healthy at home. Anyways, let me go straight to the point. So I am going to be doing a couple of problems for day 1 of week 3, and this is of course math. I want to remind you, boys and girls, that when we do math, we always want to take a look at that learning objective because that gives us a little bit of a guidance as to what we're doing today. And if you remember, that would be at the very bottom of the page. And in this case, for day 1, it says that we're going to decompose. Give me a second. It says that we're going to decompose or break down fractions as a sum of unit fractions using tape diagrams, okay? Remember that sum means addition, decompose means to break down. So we're going to break down fractions as the addition of unit fractions, and we are going to be representing that with tape diagrams. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how that looks like. I am going to read the directions for number 1. Number 1 says, draw a number bond and write the number sentence to match each taped diagram. The first one is done for you. I am going to go straight to 1F. Okay, I know that I need to draw a number bond. So I am going to go ahead and begin that on the side. I'm going to put the top bubble in there where my total is going to be, okay? So that's going to be the fraction that I would be decomposing or breaking down, okay? If you remember, the first step that we would do is we would find out from where to where one whole is, or one whole cake. Remember how I used to think of it, or I still do. I think of it as cakes, okay? So one whole cake would be from here all the way to here. And that is what the top bracket is showing you. It's showing you from where to where one whole is. And that is important, boys and girls, because once we know where one whole is, then we can count the units inside to see what the denominator should be. Okay, so let's count the units inside one whole. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only counting the units inside one whole, and there's 5, which means that each of these boxes is 1/5 plus another fifth, and so on. Okay? Now, you already noticed that outside the one hole, there's one more box. That's just another fifth. It's one of those other fifths. Okay? Um, and so I can clearly see that because there's 5 units inside one whole, the denominator is 5. We are working with fifths. Okay? Now, in some of these tape diagrams, the shading is really, it's very light. You can barely see it. But for example, these are the 3 shaded ones. So hopefully you can distinguish the shaded units because that's what we are actually representing. Okay, so let me go back to F. So the numerator or the top number in my fraction is going to be the many units shaded, and in this case I can see that it's all of them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 fifths represented in this visual for F. Okay, Now, if you look at the goal, it says that we're going to break down or decompose fractions as the sum of unit fractions. The sum we're going to represented below the tape diagram. Okay, so the sum is going to be the bottom brackets. And I can clearly see that there's one first bracket in the bottom, and that first bracket is marking all 5 of the units inside one hole. It's from here to here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put 5 out of 5, 5 fits. That's what I see. Okay, marked by that first bottom bracket. There's a second bracket at the bottom, and that's a little tiny one here. That is the one representing just one fifth. Okay, and so that is the way that this tape diagram or this fraction has been decomposed. The fraction 6 fifths was decomposed into 5 fifths plus 1 fifth. Okay, so those would be the two parts that that fraction 6 fifths was decomposed into. So I'm going to show that with a number bond in here. It's the number bond is just to show the decomposition. 6 fifths is the same as 5 fifths plus 1 fifth. And that's it. That is it. Now, some of you are already thinking 5 fifths plus 1 fifth is the same as 6 fifths or 1 and 1 fifth, which means the same as 1 whole cake that we have in here plus the extra unit plus 1 fifth, 1 and 1 fifth, or 6 fifths. Okay, so that would be it for number 1. We drew a number bond and we wrote a number sentence to match the tape diagram. Okay, now let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says draw and label tape diagrams to match each number sentence. So in this case, they're giving us the number sentence and we need to draw and label a tape diagram. So I am going to go ahead and do F with you, boys and girls. And F says that I should be representing a total of 1 and 2 sevenths. So that means 1 whole cake. Okay. So 1 whole cake and 2 sevenths. And because it says sevenths, I know I'm going to need 7 units inside the 1 whole, which means I'm going to use 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And if I do that, I should end up with 7 units inside. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's the 7 units, which means that each of these boxes is 1/7. Okay. Remember how it said draw and label? Well, I am labeling right now. Okay, so but that would only be the one in 1 here. That would be the 1. I also need a little more. I need 2 sevenths. That means that I need 2 more of these boxes that are inside the 1 hole. So I'm just going to draw them more or less the same size. 1, 2. It says 2 sevenths. So 2 more sevenths. So 1/7, 2 sevenths. Okay, so there I have 1 whole and 2 sevenths. Okay, so let me see. It said to draw and label tape diagrams. We drew the tape diagram. I guess what we can do to make this look really complete, like the previous ones. Where is it? I'm sorry. Here, we can draw the bottom brackets to show the decomposition. That would be showing the addends or the numbers that we're adding. So 1 and 2/7 is the same as 1. So it's the same as 1 whole here plus, so it says plus 2/7. So plus 2/7. And that's it. That's it. We just represented that equation in there. We showed how it works. 1 plus 2/7 is the same as 1 and 2/7. Or, I can already hear you, boys and girls, saying, or 7, 8, 9, 9/7. Because if there's 7 inside that one hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 2 more, 7, 8, 9. So 9/7. So those two mean the same. Okay, and so that would be it for number 2. I am also posting links to the videos that we watch in class. For some of the math lessons, they're very helpful. So go ahead and watch them as well if you need more help. And again, you can always contact me if you need extra help. Okay.